Okay, settling close, I'm going to tell you a story. One that starts in the shadows but hopefully ends in the light. It's a story about jealousy, a crime born of desperation, and a little girl who almost lost her way. The old house stood on a hill overlooking the town of Havenwood, a town that was anything but. Ivy crept up its stone walls, obscuring the windows like resentful fingers. Inside lived Eleanor, a woman whose beauty had faded like a forgotten photograph. Once she had been Havenwood's golden girl, but time and a bitter dose of reality had etched lines around her eyes and mouth. Her husband, Arthur, was a successful architect, a man of quiet charm and unwavering dedication to his craft. They had a daughter, 6-year-old Lily, a child with eyes as bright as the summer sky and a spirit that bubbled like a mountain stream. Eleanor watched them, Arthur and Lily, from the window, a knot tightening in her chest. They were a perfect picture, a father and daughter bond so profound it excluded her. It gnawed at her, this exclusion, this invisible wall built by shared laughter and inside jokes. She saw the way Arthur looked at Lily with adoration and pride, and a viper of jealousy coiled in her stomach. Eleanor's best friend since childhood, Clara, was everything she wasn't. Clara had remained unmarried, forging a career as a celebrated sculptor. She exuded a confidence Eleanor envied, a self assuredness that radiated from her like sunlight. Clara was also incredibly close to Arthur and Lily. She was the fun aunt, the one who brought Lily art supplies and told wild stories. The green eyed monster festered. Eleanor started seeing Clara's presence as a deliberate taunt, a constant reminder of what she, Eleanor, lacked. She convinced herself that Clara was secretly in love with Arthur, waiting for Eleanor to finally wither away so she could swoop in and claim her life. One day, Eleanor overheard Arthur and Clara talking in the garden. She couldn't make out the words, but she saw Clara's hand rest briefly on Arthur's arm. That was it. The dam burst. Eleanor's mind spun a web of dark fantasies, each more twisted than the last. Driven by an unshakable belief that Clara was trying to steal her family, Eleanor hatched a plan, a desperate act born of pure, unadulterated jealousy. It was a monstrous plan, the kind that made her skin crawl even as she conceived it. She would hurt her in the one way she knew would truly devastate her, through Lily. Eleanor decided to kidnap Lily, only temporarily, just long enough to teach Clara a lesson. She imagined Clara's frantic worry, her desperate pleas for Lily's safe return. It was a twisted kind of revenge, a way to finally feel powerful, in control. The day she put her plan into action was a grey, overcast Tuesday. Arthur was away on a business trip. Eleanor told Lily they were going to the park for a special picnic. Instead, she drove to a secluded cabin miles outside of Havenwood, a place she remembered from her childhood. Lily, oblivious to the darkness brewing in her mother's heart, chattered happily in the back seat, pointing out cows and asking about the clouds. Eleanor felt a pang of guilt, a momentary flicker of her former self, but she quickly squashed it. At the cabin, Lily, sensing something was wrong, started to cry. Mommy, I want to go home, she whimpered, her small face crumpled with fear. Eleanor tried to soothe her, but her voice sounded hollow, unnatural. She told Lily it was a fun adventure, a secret game just for the two of them, but Lily wasn't fooled. She clung to Eleanor, her small body trembling. Meanwhile, back in Havenwood, Clara arrived at the house for her usual Tuesday afternoon visit with Lily. Eleanor wasn't there, which was unusual. Where's Lily? Clara asked the housekeeper. Mrs. Davies replied, a worried expression on her face. But she seemed a bit agitated this morning. Clara felt a knot of unease tighten in her stomach. She tried calling Eleanor, but her phone went straight to voicemail. A cold red washed over her. Something was terribly wrong. She called Arthur. Arthur, frantic with worry, immediately cut his trip short and headed back to Havenwood. Clara, meanwhile, contacted the police. Detective Miller, a seasoned officer with a keen eye for detail, took the case. He interviewed Mrs. Davies, who mentioned Eleanor's recent erratic behavior and her growing resentment towards Clara. A picture began to emerge, a picture of a woman consumed by jealousy and desperation. The police launched a search, but the remote cabin was difficult to find. Time was slipping away. Back at the cabin, Eleanor was struggling. Lily's constant crying and pleading were chipping away at her resolve. She hadn't anticipated the sheer weight of guilt, the suffocating feeling of being a monster. As darkness fell, a fierce storm raged outside, mirroring the turmoil within Eleanor. Lily, exhausted and terrified, had finally fallen asleep. Eleanor stared at her sleeping child, her face streaked with tears. She saw not a pawn in her twisted game, but her precious daughter. A innocent child she was hurting so deeply. The realization hit her like a physical blow. What had she done? How could she have let jealousy and paranoia drive her to such madness? Just then, she heard the sound of sirens in the distance. The police were coming. Panic surged through her. She wanted to run, to disappear, but she couldn't leave Lily. She couldn't condemn her daughter to a life of fear and uncertainty. When the police arrived, they found Eleanor sitting on the porch, rocking Lily in her arms. She didn't resist arrest. She confessed everything, her voice choked with sobs. Lily was safe. The trial was a media frenzy. The town of Heavenwood was divided. Some condemned Eleanor as a monster, while others saw her as a victim of her own insecurities. Clara, despite everything, visited Eleanor in prison. She didn't condone what Eleanor had done, but she understood the pain that had driven her to it. She saw a woman consumed by fear, a woman who had lost her way. Arthur, heartbroken and devastated, struggled to forgive Eleanor, but he knew for Lily's sake he had to try. Eleanor served her time. Prison was a harsh awakening, a cold, sterile environment that forced her to confront the darkness within herself. She underwent therapy, grappling with her insecurities and learning to manage her jealousy. It was a long, arduous journey, but she was determined to change. Years later, Eleanor was released from prison. She was a changed woman, humbled and remorseful. She knew she could never fully erase the pain she had caused, but she was determined to make amends. Arthur, after much soul searching, allowed Eleanor to see Lily under strict supervision. It was a slow, tentative process, but gradually a fragile bond began to form. Lily, now a teenager, was wary but curious. She wanted to understand her mother, to see if there was any good left in her. Eleanor dedicated her life to helping other women struggling with jealousy and insecurity. She started a support group, sharing her story and offering guidance. She became a beacon of hope, a testament to the power of redemption. One sunny afternoon, Lily, now a young woman, visited Eleanor at the support group. She listened to Eleanor share her story, her voice filled with emotion. After the meeting, Lily approached Eleanor, her eyes filled with tears. "Mom," she said, "I forgive you." Eleanor's heart soared. It wasn't a complete healing, but it was a start. The old house on the hill remained, but it was no longer a symbol of resentment and despair. Eleanor had transformed it into a haven for women seeking solace and support. Ivy still climbed the walls, but now it was carefully pruned, no longer obscuring the light. Eleanor, Arthur, and Lily never fully returned to the way things were before. The scars remained, a reminder of the darkness they had overcome. But they had learned a valuable lesson, that forgiveness is possible, that even the deepest wounds can heal, and that even the most twisted paths can lead to the light. They found peace, not in forgetting the past, but in learning from it and building a brighter future. A future where jealousy and resentment were replaced by understanding, compassion, and most importantly, love. The little girl once kidnapped now stood tall, a testament to the strength of the human spirit and the enduring power of forgiveness. The story, begun in shadows, ended in the warm, forgiving light of a new dawn